got sports for me and you. Roope and Rumsey is their name. Chat about things from the latest game. Roope and Rumsey, oh Roope and Rumsey. It's time for Roope and Rumsey.
All right, well, welcome to the R&R Show. Sit back and relax and enjoy the best little sports show ever. I am your host, Michael Roope, and this is my co-host, William Rumsey. Hello, William.
Howdy.
All right, well, today is something that's really exciting for both you and I. We are diving into fantasy baseball. William and I, as avid fantasy, sports.
Fantasy legends.
Yeah, well, yes. I'm a 73-time champion.
God.
So
I'm a hair under that.
Yeah, but again, fantasy sports is very prevalent in today's society. Whether it be baseball and football, me and William absolutely we're in a ton of baseball and football leagues.
Sure. I think 5 this year, maybe.
In baseball, I think I'm in 8. Football, I'm probably in a hair more.
Okay.
I mean, again, we are going to do a lot of fantasy sports, and we're going to start, diving into the fantasy baseball as the season is finally structured. It's going to be a 60-game sprint, and me and William are going to dive into some top 5 at each position. Today's topic, we're going to do what? Top 5 pitchers.
Starting pitchers.
Top 5 starting pitchers. And to honor our, fantasy baseball segment, we broke out some baseball jerseys. What'd you go with today?
Mr. Aroldis Chapman.
Aroldis Chapman.
I think it's retro at this point, right?
Yeah.
We'll let you folks make the call.
A Chappie jersey is a good start. I went with, my American League All-Star jersey I got at the All-Star game when it was at Cincinnati, and that is one Mike Trout.
Yeah.
I believe,
nice
yes,
jersey.
yes, absolutely, the best ball player in the game. So, without further ado, we are going to dive into today's topic, which is our top 5 fantasy pitchers for this year. Who do you got at your number 5?
So just a couple things about it. So, yes, 60 games. They're going to do it in 66 days. So they're only going to have a few off days there. So that changes, obviously, the dynamic of short season,
Oh, it's going to be every game is going to mean a lot.
So I am going to start off with Buehler. Walker Buehler.
Interestingly enough, I have him at my number 5.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes.
But, I think, he's right around. I don't think he's in the top tier yet. He's trending that way.
He really is.
But as of right now, I think this is he's starting his 3rd full year.
And that's typically when they take the next jump. Yeah. And you know what I love about Buehler is, he's young.
He's
a lot
25.
of the young guys, I'm more drawn to the young guys because they don't have a lot of those nagging injuries or ailments pop up as some of the older guys. But he plays for a great team too.
Yep. So wins will come into play there.
Yes.
His fastball touch is 99.
Yep.
So he's a flamethrower. Yep. Only slight concern, he's not a big horse like, that probably these top tiers your guys are going to be. He's 6'2", 185, so he doesn't have the big size like these other. That's my only slightly concern. Last year he went 14-4, 185 innings pitched. He's a big K guy, 215 Ks, low ERA, 3.26. So
a great whip too at 104. I mean, yes. Well, hey, listen, I like Walker Buehler. Just besides that stud team he's around, that pitching staff he's surrounded by, he isn't feeling like he has to carry the load, which takes that pressure off of him. Yeah. But he's pitched lights out. But when you have like Kershaw, Price, some of those guys around you, I mean, that's only going to help the youngster out even more.
And they added Mookie Betts to that lineup, so they're going to score runs.
Yes.
That always helps a pitcher. On a personal note, he is from Lexington, Kentucky.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So Walker Buehler, both William and I's number 5. Who do you got coming in at number 4?
Strasburg. Straight ahead.
Hey, somebody.
You probably say it better than
Yeah, Strasburg, straight ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, but he's near and dear to my heart. Did not make my list. He was on my honorable mention, but lots to like about Strasburg.
Yeah, I mean, if you go through the experts list, he's probably not going to make the top 5. But the reason that he is in my top, what he did in the playoffs last year.
Unbelievable.
I view this season, basically, these guys are going right into the playoffs because they'll pitch probably in the regular season, 6-7 times?
Yep.
Maybe more. I mean, since it's a short season, they may push those top-tier guys to 4 days rest, 3 days rest.
I don't know. There's a lot of foods for thought to make this come out. But
so in the playoffs last year, he went 5-0, had a 1.98 ERA, 47 strikeouts across 36 innings, has one of the best pitches in baseball, his changeup. Per scouts, he has 3 above average pitches, coming off a World Series MVP, and the dude just got paid.
Yep.
7 years, $245 million.
These guys that have those runs like that in the postseason, and especially on a contract year, always parlay it into big numbers. And like you said, Strasburg got paid.
And I would have been concerned if they would have started the season off when they were, in April, because he would have had a short off season, pitched a lot in the postseason. But with this break, he is posted. I feel like going to have a great year.
My number 4, I have Jacob deGrom. Now, I know for a lot of you guys probably may have him a little higher. What knocks him down to the 4 slot for me is he does pitch for the Mets. I don't know about if the wins will come, but with a short season, I know every team's going to feel like they have the chance. They're not going to go through the motions. He may end up being one of the top, if not the top, but consistent.
He's my number 3.
Okay.
So
we can tag team. We can tag team consistency. deGrom. I mean, deGrom. He's is about as consistent as he gets. Doesn't walk many people. No. Always has his high strikeout total. The only thing that dings him on my list is the team he plays for in that division. They're going to be having to go through the National and Braves a lot, so you don't know if the wins will come there as much as you would like.
And compared to the 2 top guys that I'll get into, he doesn't have the strikeout numbers that those guys had either.
It's still good.
But in a short season, you know.
Yeah, he did have 255 strikeouts, which is not bad.
No. I mean, he throws a 97-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball, a 93-mile-per-hour slider, and a 91-mile-per-hour changeup.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude brings it. He has won the Cy Young Award the last 2 years in the NL. Funny enough, he actually, after he cut his hair, that's when he won the Cy Youngs.
There you go. He cut it. It's almost like the opposite of a Samson.
Yeah. Good. I wouldn't have called
there you go. Yeah.
And then just kind of a side, he owns the Major League Baseball record for 30 straight starts with 3 runs or fewer.
That's pretty impressive. I remember when he broke that. That was impressive.
Phenomenal pitcher. I expect another good year out of him.
Yep. My number 3, this guy probably wouldn't have, if we would have started baseball on time, he would have probably dropped out of a lot of people's, maybe even top 10. But with the bigger break, he was able to heal from his injuries, and that's when Justin Verlander. Now, the man just continually pitches. He got to the infamous 300 strikeout mark, and he plays for a great team in Houston. The only concern again was the injury bug that kind of hit him right before the season. But all signs are he's good to go.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, there's
a little higher on my list.
Yeah, there's no better bet than Justin Verlander. With and I'll let you go into a little bit more, but he had one of the great all-time years. Did he end up with that MVP or Cy Young, or was it Cole? I'm not sure if I know that. It was either Cole or Verlander.
I think it was Verlander.
Yeah, I was going to say they both had unbelievable years. They both had 300-plus strikeouts, but 21-6 and with a .80 WHIP. None better than Verlander. As long as he can stay healthy, that's his only concern. But all signs are that he is healthy going into the season.
Yep.
So who do you got as your number 2?
I have a little change-up. I have Garrett Cole as number 2.
Garrett Cole. He's on my list, but he may be a little higher.
Maybe a little higher. Yeah, I mean, most people's going to have him at number 1. And I could look really stupid by having him at number 2. But I just think he's going to a new team. He's going into Yankee Stadium. that monster contract. What was it? 9 years, $334 million. I just think there might be a little. I mean, not saying he didn't come through under the gun last year, just a little added pressure, and I just feel like he might get rocked a little bit in a couple Yankee Stadium starts, and then with this short season, a couple rocky outings, man. That changes your fantasy stature.
I'll throw a couple little tidbits out at you when it gets to my pick, but that's a good number 2. Obviously, he's going to be on a lot of top 3 lists, no doubt, without hesitation. My number 2, he may not be on some of lists, and I don't even know if I've heard you say him. He might not have made your top 5.
Are you not listening to my list?
I don't think. Well, I don't think he's going to be your. I don't know if he. I can't remember who's left to be your number 1, but I've got Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
Is he your number 1?
No.
Okay. He didn't make your list.
No, he did not.
Okay. Max Scherzer for me, he's as steady as he gets.
He's 6 for me.
Okay. The only knock on him, he's been battling some injuries, but boy, I'm telling you, the model of consistency with Scherzer is there, and nothing is going to help a person like him than a shortened season. He isn't going to have that long season. And with that short window, that's why I bumped Scherzer up to number 2. Again, all signs are pointing he is healthy. And I'm telling you, with that short season...
Now, is he healthy? That's kind of why I was looking through it.
He is.
He might be ready to pitch when the season starts.
He's healthy. I've seen some interviews. He's ready to go.
Well, he's on my fantasy team. He was my big purchase.
I'm telling you, for people at home, get you some Max Scherzer. He's an elite strikeout guy, plays for an elite World Series team. And you know what? You pair him with Strasburg, the load is lightened. I mean, he's about as good as get.
Yeah.
I had Strasburg off of my list where you had him on, and then you had Scherzer off where I had him on.
And he's got 2 different colored eyes, which always makes him more intimidating than...
Just another added bonus for you Scherzer lovers. Yeah. All right, who do you got as your number 1?
You already mentioned him. I have Mr. Justin Verlander.
Yes. What? And just tell
6'5", 225 pounds. If you built an ace in a lab, probably be Justin Verlander. Yes. I think his superpower is he's married to Kate Upton.
That's always an added bonus. Yep, you get a bonus when you're married to Kate.
Yep, he's 37 years old, but still bringing it. Last year, I think you hit on it, 21-6, 300 strikeouts. .803 whip. He had a higher WAR than Garrett Cole, wins above replacement. I just think in this shortened season, with the year he had last year, boom, he's my number 1.
And you know what? You can't go wrong with
once you get up to the top 3,
you can't go wrong with
top 2.
Yep, you can't go wrong with either of those. And Verlander, what makes him so great is, after he left the Tigers, everybody thought he had no gas left in the tank. And boy, it's crazy how he's even resurrected his career even higher than what he was with the Tigers. Yeah. He's been nothing but lights out with Houston. Yep. So my number 1, he's mentioned him, and he's going to be on a lot of number 1 lists. It's Garrett Cole. He's already talked about the numbers. 20-5, he had 326 strikeouts and a .89 whip. I've got him number 1. I think he's going to be juiced for this new season. He is going to be excited to play with the powerhouse Yankees. That lineup, if it could be any more powerful than the Astros, it is. If everybody's healthy, that Yankees lineup is the new murderer's row. And I think he's going to, New York's going to take to him. And I think Garrett Cole is, all signs are pointing up. The reason I have Cole over Verlander, he's younger. Yep. And that's the reason I had him number 1. Scherzer and Verlander are a little bit longer in the tooth, and I do like some of the outliers for Cole.
So Garrett just recently, I think maybe within the last couple of days, he's been posting pictures on his Instagram account. I think him throwing a pitch in the Yankees bullpen, and then the other day on him on the mound throwing a pitch. Yankees fans are going nuts.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to be. Regardless if I think he's going to. That's going to be electric. The first time he pitches in Yankees. And more than likely, he's probably going to be in the playoffs unless something crazy.
When's the last time the Yankees have had, an unbelievably top-tier, lights
ace.
out. You know, Sabathia, but
CC.
they got him after his good run with the Indians.
But he was still good for him.
Yeah, but not like just a dominant. I mean, I think
like
New York.
Messina? I mean, he is a Hall of Famer, but I don't think of Messina.
Man, I mean, but I think you almost have to go back to the days of maybe Ron Goodry. Ron Goodry was like 25-3, I believe, one year. But I don't know.
That was David Wells when I know he threw a perfect game.
No, you had David Cohn. You had some of those. I mean, Yankees typically get some of those guys that have.
They pay them after
they've been good and they kind of tail end careers. But Garrett Cole, I know New York is going
Andy Pettit.
Yeah, Pettit that's a good one.
Yeah.
But I don't still feel like he was dominant.
No, I mean Garrett Cole's just
He was steady.
He's a different level.
He's a different animal. I knew New York. Anybody that was on the cusp that didn't make it. I know you mentioned Scherzer. Anybody that you wanted to find a spot for?
Bieber.
That's who I was going to say.
Bieber is
Bieber.
Everybody has Bieber fever.
Oh, I've had Bieber fever. I had him on every one of my fantasy teams last year. He has definitely missed stuff where his pitches are definitely missing a lot of bats.
One that I know is both near and dear to our heart, Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
He's obviously trended down. I mean, he had a great year last year.
That just shows you how great he is.
I don't know how to react in this shortened season. What these folks are they going to come out just guns a blazing, get everything they got because they know they don't have to, they don't have another 100 games tacked on.
Yep. Well, I know. I don't know if some of
do we want to talk about Clayton Kershaw and what he did when you and I were playing in the playoffs?
No,
we don't.
That's a bad memory.
Oh.
He, just for you at home. He had Clayton Kershaw, or I had Clayton Kershaw.
Had Clayton Kershaw.
You had Jay Bruce. We were in the final game of a fantasy matchup, and boy, Jay Bruce took Clayton deep twice. Not once, but twice. So that left a mark. But I do want to mention one other pitcher that I want you guys at home to get him on your team because I believe they're going to bring him up earlier than later with the short season with this still counting as a service time, is one Mackenzie Gore.
Mm-hmm.
Get him on your team. He is the next Roger Clemens. Padres. He is a big hurler for the Padres. Get him on your team. He is got lights out stuff, and he will be a force for many, many years to come. So if you're in the Dynasty League, get him on your team. Well, that does it for today's segment. Again, fantasy. We are going into this full force. We are going to start hitting every category. We did pitchers today. Next, we will do coming up our top five first basemen.
Yes, sir.
But we'll keep on popping those out. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys.